Hi everyone, it's Sarah with a wine and dollies video, and boy do I have a lot of updates. I've even written a list, so hopefully I won't forget anything. I've had time at home and I've just been using most of that time just on dolly stuff, which has been great. So yeah, the first thing I kind of did, and if you follow me on Instagram you would have seen it already, but I found a bunch of fabrics in the dollar store, and they're not like, they're really thin. They're not the best quality, but I mean it's doll clothes, it doesn't need to be the best ever, and I mean it was cheap so I wasn't complaining. But the main thing I liked about it was the size of the patterns. So I got 4 different ones. This one I haven't touched yet, but I also got this little one here, and then a blue as well, which is really cool, and another colour as well that was kind of a grey with patterns. But I have made some skirts, which I'm quite happy about. The first one I made was out of the grey fabric, and I used all of it. It was the first one I made, so it's definitely not the best. I tried to make some pleats, but I made the pleats too big to kind of be visible on here, I don't know. I mean you can see them at the top, but they just don't follow through. And I wanted it to be a double layer. I don't know if it's got a special name, but yeah, so there's essentially 2 skirts in the one, and it's got lace at the bottom. It's really pretty, and I put a little ribbon at the top to just kind of tie that together, and at the back it's got a button, just a loop of ribbon again that ties it on. And yeah, I was really happy with this, so I went on to make more. My girls are actually wearing them at the moment. Second one I made was this one here, and you can tell that I actually figured out how pleats work this time. I wanted to make it a lot more high-waisted, so it was quite flattering for her figure, just because she's so slim. I wanted it to be, you know, all pretty and like that. Since the waist is higher, I needed to put 2 buttons there just so that it sat nice and flat, and I put this lace around the top, also from a dollar store, so that was pretty good, and I was able to get a lot of it, so it's really handy. The next one I made is probably my favourite, and Claire's wearing it at the moment. It is using the blue fabric, and I had some blue lying around from my Mercy cosplay still, so I just used some scraps to make the band around the top and the band around the bottom. Now this was my attempt at a box pleat, I think is what it's called. The other ones are knife pleats. Just means that the way they sit is different, and it's not perfect, but I think it's really cute and it looks really nice and clear. I made this one in one evening, and then the next day I made the other 2. Went a bit crazy sewing there for a little bit, but I'm really pleased with it. So now I know I can do it. I can make doll clothes, so yeah. Right, next thing on my list, and it is about Claire. So you may or may not be able to tell, but I gave her a wash and I removed her body blushing. It was chipped quite badly, and she had a bunch of staining on her legs from all the dark clothes I put her in. So I really just wanted to give her a good scrub, and the blushing was really starting to annoy me since it just looked dirty. I mean, after having Millie and getting really used to because she doesn't have any body blushing, I actually quite like that. I mean, I definitely appreciate body blushing, but something about the plain resin I just think is really pretty. So at least for now, Claire has got no blushing and I prefer her that way. So yeah, Now obviously to do that I had to completely take her apart, and that was the first time I had done that at such a extreme. I mean, I'd changed her legs because, yeah, so that she's got her high heel legs on. If you're unfamiliar with the Lutz Senior Delft bodies, I'm not sure if the old ones were like this, but Claire's is at least. The legs are strung separately, and there's literally just a, actually I might be able to show you. Let's see if I can, sorry Claire, I'll see if I can show you. So in there it's literally just a little nub thing, and the elastic is attached to her foot and goes through the other piece and then just sits in there. So it was really easy to change her legs, but taking her apart I had to actually string her arms. So it was a bit more involved, but it wasn't too bad. So yeah, it definitely gave me confidence moving forward. And not only did I clean and restring her, before I restring her, I sueded her, and I used kind of this vela material that I had lying around. I keep on saying I have these materials lying around, and I mean it's true. The vela is what I use for making plushies. That's one, I might go into that another day, but yeah, I make little plush dolls and that's the material I use for the bodies. But I thought it would actually work quite well for sueding. So yeah, I sueded Claire's whole body and she moves so much better now. I don't know if you can tell, and she's kind of giving you a bit of an evil eye at the moment. But yeah, I feel so much better moving her now. Before she was very, not stiff, but like, she would squeak and creak, and I mean, it wasn't necessarily that bothered me, but whenever you'd move her arms or anything, it would create a lot of resin dust, which I wasn't really happy about because it just kind of scared me. So I was always quite hesitant moving her, and I mean, when I only had Claire, I didn't know what I was missing. I thought, you know, this is normal, and just assumed that. But after getting Millie and seeing how easily she moved, it's like, I want Claire to be like this, and why isn't she? But after sueding her, she is so much easier to move, and I don't need to fear like chipping her when I move her, and it's just, I mean, and the posability as well is obviously a huge plus. But yeah, and the main thing as well, her neck has a bit more mobility. Before she couldn't so much as look up at all. I mean, up is still not amazing, but she couldn't do that before, so he would just go. But yeah, and also because I did it for her chest too, so she can do a lot more, which is really, really cool. But yeah, so Claire had a little jolly day spa and ended up back in one piece, which is always good. If you saw my last video, you would see that I got a new boy in, the 5-star doll kid with the Amy head. Literally straight after that video, I took him apart, like completely took him apart and gave him a soak because I wanted to try and remove some of his yellowing and just give him an all-round clean. So I probably had him soaking for a good few hours. I could have soaked him for longer, but I got impatient. I sueded him as well before restringing him, but he didn't stay strung for long because I decided pretty quickly that I wanted to not just give him a face up, but give him some tattoos. And I have him here to show you. I probably need to put some more gloss on his lips and on his waterline, just so that looks a bit better. But yeah, so his name is Alan, named after the character Alan Walker in the, and I'm gonna sound so nerdy right now, but I don't care, from the anime or manga D. Grey Man. It's the fandom I probably got into the most, and it's very dear to me. Alan is my all-time favourite character, so I just had to do something for him. But yeah, anyway, here he is. So hopefully this will focus, and I've got lots of bits of fluff everywhere. So if you're unfamiliar with this character, you're probably thinking like, what? What is this on his face? But I won't bore you with all of his details. If you are interested, check out the manga or the anime. I mean, it does have an anime, and it had a new season not too long ago, which is pretty rad. But yeah, so not only did I give him his you know, special marks on his face, he needed to have his special arm. So I did this all with my pencil and my pastels, and he has a mark on his shoulder too, and his hand has a little mark on it as well. I wasn't sure how it would look all put together because I didn't bother doing anything to the peanuts and the ball on his wrist, since they would just chip instantly. They are supposed to be black, but I don't know, I don't think it looks too bad. I mean, yeah. And he's got sueding in there too, which, I mean, he was easy to move before, but I was just really excited about sueding since Claire was such a success, so I had him in pieces, so I thought, why not suede him too? Yeah. Now I probably will seal the rest of his body at some point, since his resin is quite shiny. The 5-star doll resin, from what I've heard, it just is the way it is. And I do like the matte feel. I had plans of putting a scar around here, but decided that I wouldn't do that, at least not at this point. But yeah, so this is little Alan, and he needs some clothes and some hair, which is what I've been working on today. I had faux fur, but I didn't want to make the wig with it just as it was. So what I thought is that I would use the faux fur as a fibre, so like I would cut it off and make a wig as you would an alpaca wig, but with faux fur. So essentially just a more difficult and tedious and messy way of making a faux fur wig. I mean, I'm not finished yet, so I don't know whether it was a complete failure or not at this point, but here it is. So I only just set the part before, so it's got the head cap in there. It's quite thick. It's a lot thicker than it would have been had I done it the other way, but let me just put it on him so you can get a rough idea. I haven't styled it or cut it. I will be doing that because it's a bit crazy at the moment. I will need to get a rubber band or something to just help grip it to his head like I've got for Claire. Because at the moment he just looks like a really frizzy old man, or I don't know. But yeah, the part's not terrible. That was by far the trickiest bit. It's gonna lose a lot. It was very, very messy taking fur off of a faux fur sheet or whatever you call it. But yeah, I'll keep you posted, I suppose. By next video or next one in Dollies, I should have this done. So yeah, and there'll be pictures on my Instagram, so we'll see how that goes. But I think once I cut it and style it and make sure it's actually sitting on his head properly, it should be okay. So yeah, watch this space. He does need to have his white hair though, so it is just very, very fluffy and shedding a lot as well. But yeah, so he is definitely coming together, and now all I really need is to make him some clothes. I'll probably make him some pants myself. I am trying to find some boots for him, some black ones. So if you have some black USD boots that you're willing to sell, let me know, because Ellen would definitely appreciate it. Okay, so Millie, you would have noticed before she didn't have her wig on, and that's because I didn't want to spoil what I have done. Let me just put it back on her. Oh, I love her like this. So if you remember, that pink wig of Millie's used to be a lot longer and I cut a chunk off it. I've done it again, but it looks so cute. Look at her. I literally just did this before. I was looking at her and I was like, you know what, Millie, you would really suit a bob. Let's make this happen. And when I first cut her hair, I did actually have intentions of cutting it this short, but I didn't want to take all that length off straight away. I don't know, it just, what if I didn't like it? I just wanted to test it out first and see, you know, maybe I would like it just a little bit shorter. And I did, don't get me wrong, but this is just so her, and I think it's adorable. I haven't you know, blended their ends as much as I could. I kind of gave up while I was doing it. It's like, ah, yeah, it'll do for now. And my floor was covered with so much hair and fluff. Why are you not standing properly, girl? Come on. What are you doing? And she's actually covered in hair still too. So even though I tried to cover her so it wouldn't, you know, get all over her clothes, it still managed to a little bit. But yeah, don't you think this just suits her so much? She's super, super cute, and I have always thought that bobs really complement the me sculpt. Since her face is quite long, it kind of softens her features slightly and makes her face look a bit rounder. Not that, you know, it needs to look rounder, but it just complements her, and I'm really happy with it, so yeah. Anyway, so that is the main updates, but otherwise I have been meaning to make quite a few videos and just haven't got there. I've been using my time to do these other things and I haven't been filming them. I probably should have. I did start filming when I was doing Ellen's face up, but my battery died and I couldn't be bothered waiting for my battery to charge to continue. I wanted to get it done, and same with the wig. I had forgot to charge it at that point, so I just went ahead anyway. I mean, it gave me more to talk about in this Wine and Dollies, so Wine and Dollies with Coca-Cola. I'm planning on making a few other videos though. I've got a parcel that's sitting around with some clothes for Claire that I need to open. It's from an Etsy shop in Switzerland, I think. And I love their clothes. And I've seen a few tags going around that I really want to do. The BGD name tag and the Never Have I Ever tag. I think that's what it was called. But yeah, they both sounded really fun, so I do want to do those at some point. And I've also been like really thinking about making a tag of my own. I'm not sure if something like it exists yet though, so I mean, I only kind of just thought of this, so I want to check that I'm not you know, doing something that's already been done, so I'll do a bit of research and check for that first. But if I don't find anything, look forward to that. I won't say what it is, leave it a surprise, but I think it's cool. It definitely is a topic that I'm really interested in, and I always want to hear, you know, what other people, you know, their experiences pertaining to it. I'm sure I'm not alone in that either, but yeah. Anyway, enough of me being super vague. That's all I have for today, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, it's been lovely, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Bye!